Hello and welcome back to Mac at the Movies. Today I'm going to be reviewing for you the film Halloween Kills. This film was released October 15th, 2021 by Universal, Miramax, and Blumhouse Productions. And directed by the returning director David Gordon Green, who had directed the 2018 release of Halloween, what this is a sequel to. He had also directed Pineapple Express and his indie debut film George Washington. And if anyone's seen it out there, and I suggest this series, it's a very dark comedy, but he also directed like 8 episodes of Vice Principals. Again, great dark comedy. Check it out if you haven't seen it. It's absolutely wonderful. I don't know if it's something that you'll just have to rewatch constantly, but I remember being hooked on it from beginning to end, and it was just a overall fun, just like what kind of comedy. Returning to this film, of course, we have Jamie Lee Curtis as Laurie Strode, Judy Greer as Karen, Andy Matichuk as Allison, and Dylan Arnold as Cameron. But we also get a few more characters, one of which Anthony Michael Hall, that plays Tommy Doyle, that if you remember, one of the kids that Laurie was babysitting in the original Halloween film. So looking at this movie, so much I absolutely love about it. It starts out with seeing the aftermath and the carnage of Michael from the first film, well, technically the second film, the 2018 release. And you just kind of follow the backstory of a couple of the characters and what's going on in that timeline while Laurie and Allison and Karen are trying to get away in the back of the truck. And one thing I liked about this film is that you didn't have that, the movie didn't start precisely where the first one left off. So you didn't get that they were in the back of the truck driving away, and as you see in the previews, the firefighters coming, everything like that. Without spoiling anything, and I don't think I am, but you get that. You get a good, backstory of how they got to where they are from the original film, and sort of know, you start to learn more and more about what drives Michael, other than, always running into Laurie Strode. You find out sort of his drive and how he gets to where he's going, which is what I really like. I like the way how this story tells this, outside of just, somehow Michael finds his way alive again, and knock, 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 Laurie answers the door and chaos ensues. But what I really liked about this film was you get that sort of backstory about that, that it's not just as simple as this urge and drive to kill Laurie. So that's one thing I really, really appreciated that these new writers and the creators continuing the story have done. Another thing you see is not just his drive, but you get to learn more about how he navigates in the world. Because as everyone knows who's ever seen a Halloween film, you have that, Michael's been in the cuckoo house for 30 years, 40 years. How, he can't drive a car. What's he doing? And so you sort of learn, throughout this film, as well as parts of the last film, of how that happens. And I kind of like how they explain that, instead of just, I guess, Michael just showing up around a corner everywhere that Laurie is. So it adds an explanation to that, and then goes a little further, in my opinion. There were definitely some things in this film I think it could have done without. Some things I don't feel help drive the story. I think they added a little something like, misdirects, but I don't think that it necessarily needed to be. There were some things that were going on in my mind throughout the movie that I was kind of like, ooh, what if that happened? Or ooh, what if that was this person? And yeah, it definitely had my mind working in a way that allowed the imagination to go, ooh, what if? So that's one thing I really liked. And lastly, the crowd reaction. So during this film, one of the things, and I had forgotten what, once I got into the theater, I had forgotten what my friend had said, but I had a friend who had seen this movie prior to me seeing it, and he was like, the crowd reaction is outstanding enough alone. Just, anytime there's a death or if something happens, just that reaction that you're getting while sitting in that crowd is so much fun. And it was. That movie is definitely worth sitting through again just for the crowd reaction alone. So it was so much fun. Every time a death occurred, especially if there was one death followed by an immediate second death, and it was done just so clever, so well. Also in this movie, you had so much humor with these two characters, Big John and Little John, that I just really enjoyed. And their idea of humor about Halloween and how to scare kids, things like that, I thought was fantastic. I love those two characters in this film. But all in all, I give this film 4 stars out of 5. I really enjoyed it. I liked it a lot more than the 2018 Halloween film. While I did like the 2018 Halloween film, I definitely give that one like a 3 out of 5 stars. But this one gets a good 4 out of 5 stars. The only thing that really brought it down for me was just the couple little minute details that I felt like the film didn't need. And then just one centralized portion of the film that seemed like it just, I understand the point of it, and I don't want to go into great detail and spoil this movie for anyone. I may do a later revision of this review, like I don't know, alternate ideas or thoughts after the movie's been out for a while. But it's absolutely fantastic. I really enjoyed this film. And I definitely like to continue talking because this is a film I feel like I could just keep on rolling with. I want to actively continue discussing. But yeah, it's definitely a fun film. So if any of you out there saw it, jot down in the comments below what you thought about it. And are you excited about Halloween Ends? I believe that's the next one coming out in 2022. So I'm really excited to see where, these films go. And to know that there's going to be a sequel. So it's like we got this Halloween trilogy, if you will. So I'm really excited to kind of see where this alternate universe, takes Michael, takes Laurie, and takes everybody else. So definitely jot down in the comments below what you thought about the film. Thank you for stopping by and checking out the film. And as always, be good to one another, and I will see you next time. Bye.